There's 101 ways to buy a truck, and I'm gonna share how and what I did to escape the high truck payment trap. And yes, I do mean trap. So many truck drivers over the years fall into a high truck payment, and at the time, it seems like a good idea. But by not thinking forward, it can be detrimental to your business. Because when the going's good, we kind of seem to think it's going to continue this and be good forever. I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. Two things are most likely going to happen. One, you're going to run yourself ragged. You're going to be chasing miles. You're going to be married to the road, no home time, just to make that high truck payment every month. And buckle down, guys, because that's going to be the next 4 to 6 years, depending on how long you finance that truck. Or two, the industry is going to take a downtick, and as history has shown us, it always does. There's market highs, there's market lows. The last 2 years, we've been in the market high, and it's time to come down, as that's what we're seeing now with the current rates. Either way, either one is going to be very detrimental to your business. I had a guy the other day, let's call him Johnny. Johnny commented and stated that if you run your truck for less than $3 a mile, you're part of the problem. By a show of hands, who agrees? Let me see. Yeah, I think that business model sucks. I don't know, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Share your opinion, let me know what you think in the comments. Here's a hard truth. We have no control over, one, fuel. We don't control, we have no say in how high that fuel price goes to how low that fuel price goes. Number two, we have no control over what the rates are going to do. The rates could bottom out tomorrow. You, me, we cannot do nothing about it. We can either haul it or not. That's our only option. The rates could go up, they could go down. Either way, we have no control over that. The only thing that you have control over, I have control over, is how much money I pay out in my fixed expenses. And in this video, we're going to talk about a truck payment. And if you're in the market right now to buy a truck, I would highly suggest that, well, let's just say if I was in the market right now to buy a truck today, if I'm still a company guy or if I'm running my old truck, I'm going to wait 6 to 12 months minimum, simply because the prices right now are so oversaturated, or I would say, it's a word, they're high, they're way high, too high. I've seen guys spend $250,000 on a truck, which in 2.5 years ago, that same truck would have cost them $160,000. The prices are ridiculous right now. So if you're in the market right now, I highly suggest wait. But the good news there is the truck prices seem to be coming down. So we're on a downtick. So just give it a little patience and see where it comes in the next month or two, 6 months, 12 months if it was me. Simply because the last thing you want to do is you want to get it trapped in a high truck payment that is no longer in reflection to the current rates. So if you go out there and you get a truck payment and you got $3,000 a month, and you're making $4, $5, $6 a mile, which has been the case for the last year or so for most guys on short hops, and you got that same truck payment, and next month you're struggling to get $1.50 or $2 a mile, now you're on an upside down, and the rates are no longer in accordance to the payments. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get upside down on that. That's when you're going to be married to the truck, married to the road, chasing those miles. You know, guys, this is let's say this is Johnny's business model. This is what we was talking about earlier. Now, let's get on with the video. Before I get onto it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump out here. I'm gonna go into the TA. I'm gonna go hit the head. I'm gonna grab me a cup of Joe. I'm gonna get back in here in the truck, get on down the road, and I'm gonna tell you what I've done and what's worked for me. So, be right back. Woo, it's hot down here in Florida. But we ready to roll. Let's go ahead and get on down the road in a cluck chicken truck. Let's go. Here's Johnny. Oh, Johnny. Guys, over the years, I've talked to a lot of people, coached a lot of people, mentored a lot of people. And it seemed like the ones that has the biggest fail rate in buying a truck, being an owner-operator, or even starting their own LC is the guys that want to reinvent the wheel. Making it work in trucking as an owner-operator when you buy a truck is very simple. All you got to do is just one thing. Find somebody that's got what you want. Find somebody that's working out for them. Pick their brain and do what they say they've done. Because if you do what they say they've done, you do that long enough, you'll have what they have. But a lot of people, including myself, I'm guilty of this, will try reinventing the wheel. Now, buying a truck is a big risk. Kind of. But if you're smart and you're strategic and you make that into a calculated risk, the risk of success goes up, way up. Now, whenever I first jumped into wanting to buy a truck, the first thing I did is I took pen and paper. And I started figuring out if I run X amount of miles at X amount of rate per mile, I could make this. And I got really excited, guys. I ain't gonna lie, I got really excited because what I was figuring out on paper, I thought I was gonna be a millionaire within 6 months. And I hate to bust your bubble, but I wasn't, still not. In my experience, when you figure out stuff on pen and paper, it very rarely ever goes that way. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs at you, speed bumps. It's a hilly road to success, a curvy road to success, a lot of speed bumps. From point A to point B, here's where you're at, right here's success. You try to draw a straight line, but in reality, from more time you take off, you go up, you go down, you go way over here, you go way down here, and then it's just like a 12-year-old squiggly. You know, maybe I should say a 2-year-old squiggly. It just does not work out that way, in my experience. Might be different for you. But in my experience of working with people, anyone that tried to reinvent the wheel and do it a different way, a lot of them aren't around. They're not in trucking, and they lost out on their investment. So be smart, guys, and make it a calculated risk. Don't be a Johnny. Remember, guys, Johnny's business model sucks. Don't be a Johnny. Now, when I bought this truck, I was faced with one of two options. I could buy a new truck, or I could buy a used truck, a slightly late model. And the new trucks at the time, they was priced roughly 160 to 180 for what I wanted. And about half of that, where I got this one at right there at 80,000 mark, half of it for a late model. Now, don't smear your nose up at a late model truck. I bought this truck back in 2017. It's a 14 model, and it was only 3 years old. It had 428,000 miles on it. I'm currently sitting at about 830,000 miles. This truck has been a good truck, but I'm taking care of it. Guys, you got to really take care of your trucks. I've got a lot of videos on taking care of trucks. I'm not going to talk about that now. There's other videos for that. But don't smear your nose up on a late model truck. Just know what you're looking for when buying one and go that route. But if you insist on buying a new truck, just understand the next 4 to 6 years is a hard dedication to running and paying for it. Now, with that being said, let's get back on my experience. I chose a late model truck. The reason being is I've done been back over the road since the end of 2013. And I told my wife, I said, 35 years, I could be home a lot. And I knew going into another truck, if I go new, then I'm going to prolong that. And I did not want to do that. So I was ready for semi-retirement. I was ready for more time freedom back at the house. So in my experience, I chose late model, $80,000 versus $160,000. It's half the monthly obligation when making a truck payment. So that's the route I went. And I have no regrets. I know, guys, I'm long-winded. I just wanted to make a lot of things clear before I give you the nuggets of how to buy a truck. And, well, not how to buy a truck, but the real golden nuggets of buying a truck. And I'm going to go ahead and give it away, and then I'm going to give you my experience because I didn't know this before I bought this truck right here. The real golden nugget to buying a truck and not get trapped under that high truck payment, besides buying a truck in today's market at a very high price, is secure your financing before you go to the truck lot. Matter of fact, secure your financing before you start looking for a truck. And I didn't know this, guys, at the time. I thought, you know, if you wanted commercial financing, you had to go to the different lenders for that. I just didn't know. I was ignorant. And I did happen to go to my bank and see about getting a truck loan. They said, we don't finance big trucks. I said, well, do you do business loans? And if I can just do a business loan for startup, I can buy it that way. And they said, yeah, we do, but you're a new company. You don't have established business. We're going to need at least 2 years of established business to see your profit losses over the past 2 years. So scratch that. My next call was, I called up my credit union. They said, no, I do not. We do not finance big trucks. Don't let that discourage you guys. I would check with your financial institutions, your banks, your credit lenders or credit unions, whoever you use. I would check with them first. And if they don't do it, go to your insurance company, State Farm. I'm not sure if State Farm will sign on a big truck, but in my case, I financed my truck. Well, I refinanced my truck through Farm Bureau, and they're based out of Texas. Wherever state you're at, you know, I'm out of Georgia. It's called Georgia Farm Bureau where I'm at, but I make my payments to Texas Farm Bureau. Now, when I'm buying this truck, I didn't know I had those options. It kind of fell in my lap, and I took advantage of it. And that's why I'm sharing it with you guys today. I went down to Truckworks, and I told them, I said, you know, give me some finance. And I put $10,000 down to buy this truck, and ended up, they found me some financing. And what was crazy, it was like a 14 or 15% interest rate. And I was like, dude, this shouldn't be this high. My last truck was only like 9 or 10%. And they said, well, this is completely normal. You're out on your own now. You're a complete independent IC. This is completely normal for commercial lending. Not knowing any better, I was like, okay, whatever. And they had me locked in at a payment for like 3, maybe 4 years of $2,000 and something a month. And I said, okay, cool, I can make that work. I wanted it around $1,500, but I can make $2,000 work. And I came home and I was happy. I was content with a $2,000 truck payment. Well, I found my trailer. I found my trailer from a guy down in Atlanta, a little small mom and pop repair shop. He bought, you know, flip trailers, so to speak. I contacted him. We negotiated the price on the trailer, and I said, "You have finance?" And he said, "Well, I know some people that'll finance you." And I said, "Well, my only requirement is," I said, "get somebody that finances more than 3 years." I said, "I'd like to have 5, 6, 7 years, so I can lower that payment. That way, it's not that much through the duration of a loan. Again, low monthly obligations." Now, if you want to make double payments, that's cool. But if some stuff goes wrong, you want that low monthly obligation. So he said, okay, let me get back to you. He got back with me the next day. He said, hey, I ran across this. I got a lady. I hadn't financed with her yet. I hadn't had any customers finance with her. But give her a call. She says she extends loans up to 7 years. I said, great. Send me her information. So I call her up. And we get to talking, and she says she's blah, blah, blah with Georgia Farm Bureau. I said, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So she ran the numbers and called me back the next day. She said, good news, Sammy, I got you approved on the trailer at 5.6% interest. And I said, wait, 5.6? Damn, that's pretty awesome. And then she said, hey, I understand you just bought your truck as well. You want me to go ahead and run the numbers? Come on, traffic, I need over. Oh, traffic. I said, no, don't worry about running the numbers. I said, I'm perfectly content with what I got. And she said, no, Sammy, you understand. I've already got your credit pulled. To run the numbers, it's not going to take another hit on your credit. And inside my head, my mind, my other self said, Sammy, shut the hell up. Do it. Because, you know, initially my pride was like, no, I'm content with $2,000 a month. But my other self told me, Sammy, shut the hell up. This is an opportunity. I said, wait, what? I said, yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. She called me back the next day. She said, hey, I got your truck approved too. And since you just bought the truck and you've already put $10,000 down on it, we don't even require a down payment on it. I said, sweet, draw up the paperwork. Let's get the refinancing done. Mind you guys, I have not even turned a load of this truck yet. I've only had it home for maybe 2 weeks, and I refinanced it. And I know all this stuff I'm talking about, you got to have good credit. That's a must. Fear not. Whenever I became an owner-operator, my credit was kind of mediocre. It wasn't all that great. It was actually on the low end side of mediocre. But you got to have a plan. And I kept pushing and pushing and driving, and kept making good decisions after good decisions to get myself in a position to be able to buy a truck with good credit. In the comments, the top comment, I pinned that where I've got other videos out there talking about buying a truck. So don't worry if your credit's less than mediocre, less than perfect. Go down there and check those videos out as well. They're going to be helpful. It's just a history of what I've done to get where I was at, from where I was at to where I am now. Just be mindful, be smart, be strategic. It's a risk, but if you're smart and strategic, you turn that risk into a calculated risk, and you lower your chances of a fail rate, and you raise your success rate up. You know, you got to be smart with it. Don't be Johnny. Don't be out there just throwing caution to the wind, thinking I can do it different. I can give me that $250,000 truck, give me that $100,000 trailer, give me that insane amount of money that's paid on due on insurance for my first year. Coming out of the gate, I need $6,000 a month just to make my truck, trailer, and insurance, and it's going to take you 2 weeks of running before you can even get above that, not including the amount of expenses you're paying out for fuel. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, be sure to watch this one down here, and we're going to talk about how to survive trucking in a recession. It's what I did in the last recession I was trucking in. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging around. Give me a big old thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I put videos out on the regular. Thanks, trucking. See you, bye.